Sometimes it's been a minute and I decide I'm going to do a live. Going to Daddy-O's. I'm going to be helping him do some construction work, reconstruction. We have to repair the storage barn. So anyway, how are you doing on this Tuesday? Some people like to say it's Taco Tuesday. I'm feeling like it's a Tuesday tip day, because there's always something. There's always something going on in the world. There's always something to distract you if you want to get distracted. That's how life is. There's a lot of things going on around us, but the most important thing that we could tune into is what's going on within us. Because if you don't go within, you go without. So I just made a little clip, Mental Musings. And the question is always, what do you stand for? Where does your loyalty lie? Are you aligned with your own integrity when you say what you say? Does it speak volumes through your actions? We can be talkers, but the question is, are we walkers? Do we walk our talk or just talk? Are we just wanting to be heard? We just want to be right, going through life, going through the motions, wanting everyone to agree with us so that we're in our comfort zone and we're validated, we feel approval, when in reality, the only thing and the only person that matters is you are good with you. Because we're all a bunch of adults running around trying to still get our unmet childhood needs. Hello, people. If you are triggered by other people's behavior, or you feel you need to call others out, or you feel you're the right person, self-righteous, because what's happened in the world right now, people forget that over the past year, we were all forced to rely upon technology because we were told we weren't supposed to socialize. We were supposed to isolate. And when you isolate and all you got at your fingertips is technology, you burn out. It's called cold depression for a reason, because that's now your reality. You are now identifying and reaching out for something that's intangible. That's not even face-to-face. The engagement is lacking. The true human-to-human interaction, the humans in unity, are not humanity because they're disconnected from one another. It's easy to wonder, what am I missing in my life? I'm missing humans. Humans need to congregate. Humans make humanity when they're in unity. There's a reason why words have power and meaning. But most people are so disconnected from themselves. They don't even see how disconnected they are, to the point where they're seeking anything that will give them stimulation. See, this is the addiction. When we are out of touch with our feelings because we've numbed out the pain, we've numbed out the joy, we've numbed out any sensation and sensibility, we don't feel in touch because we don't feel. So we seek out stimulation, ways to feel alive. And that doesn't always make it healthy, wealthy, or wise, or kind. See, kindness matters at all times. And we can say we stand for something and not even recognize where we're actually against something else. Because that is the dualistic nature of life. That when you say you are for something, you're also subtly, because you're not saying or stating it, you're essentially implying what you're against. This or that. There's I have the book of Secrets by Osho. And I opened this up years ago, and I used to do these hook'ems on Facebook, where I would open it up and read the passages. And in this particular passage that I truly appreciated was how it points out that when you choose something, you're also denying it. So you can say all day long what you're for. Ooh, I'm for this, whatever it is. But you're also implying what you are against and denying. rejecting. Because when you choose one thing, you're rejecting another. There's no denying that. That's a fact. That's a truth. But most people aren't even in touch with who they are, and they're allowing others to tell them how and who to be, what to believe, what to achieve, going through the motions. From the moment we're born, we are told what to think, but nobody ever questions that. That the stories we take on are the stories of our environment, our family. And when we're children, we are the purest to source. We are the closest to God and connection of the truth. But yet, even adults lose sight of this as they get older because it's gotten beaten out of them. They've been indoctrinated. They've been given stories and layers and rejected, been rejected. When you've been rejected, sometimes you don't know how to handle rejection. And instead of seeing it as an opportunity to find your unity, purity, source, tribe, whatever, because rejection is God's redirection. And when you feel rejected at any time in your life, you need to be looking around the corner, because rejection is not the end game. It is not death. But many people choose to experience it like rejection is telling them that they're not worthy and they're not good enough. It's an untruth. Obviously not. Your body will tell you. But if you don't have touch sensations, you're out of touch with your five senses, then you don't know your body. You don't know your truth. All five senses are how we take in data, just like a computer. And so when we're out of touch with our own computer and our own system, we're going through motions blindly and numbed out to what is really, really in our awareness. So our body will always keep score and will always tell you on your mind. Your mind, whenever it is out of alignment with your truth, your body cringes, it resists, it stiffens up, it stores these memories that it doesn't actually align with. That's where, for example, the spine is a great example to use. So the spine is a direct correlation to the flexibility and the openness of your own mind. If you are somebody who is completely dogmatic and stuck in your beliefs, you're going to have a really tough time. Because you're in such resistance and needing to be right and validated to your beliefs. Because your dogma will eat you alive. And if you're unwilling to be flexible and fluid and thinking and questioning, because the truth is that we are always evolving. And even our minds, we should be willing to consider at times it's time to evolve and let go of the old beliefs. Because those old beliefs have served up to a point, but that doesn't mean that they stick around forever. Everything in this life is temporary. And we have to honor that temporary placeholder of that belief. Honor it and thank it and say, thank you for serving me in this life for this time. But know that it's still something you should always question. Always question what you think you know, because even then it changes. We're allowed to make changes. We're allowed to change our minds. And people should not be held to their mistakes of the past. Like, this is a huge thing we're going through right now in humanity, that people make mistakes. And we should be given the opportunity to self-correct, to evolve, to grow, to learn from those mistakes, and not ever hold those against another person, because, like the golden rule, do unto others as you would want done unto yourself. You never want somebody to hold against something to you, hold it against you, in the sense that you do know you make a mistake. You don't need somebody else to chastise you, to beat you up, to attack you for making a mistake. Most of the times we know in ourselves, and somebody else pointing it out actually gives it that double cringe. Oh my gosh, I just made a mistake. You just made a mistake, and I'm never going to let you live it down. Wow, talk about a trauma. Like, that reinforces trauma. So a lot of us, when we were growing up as children, that's where we are in fear. We're afraid to make mistakes, so we're held back by our own fears because of what we've experienced. Hence, many people going around in their fear, trauma, acting out, because they don't even realize it's coming from an old deep wound, a rejection, an attack, an abandonment, not being enough, not being worthy, making one mistake that changed their life. It's the little things in life that when we are willing to self-correct, we evolve. But if people are holding things against us, how are we ever, as a society, as a culture, ever going to grow and evolve? If you can't say certain words and you have to worry about your speech, it's all symbolic, people. Let's pay attention, because symbolism will be the downfall, and it's always been in history. If you pay attention, those who forget history are damned to repeat it. I'm telling you, we are going through times where segregation and annihilation and, stealing people's rights and liberties. Come on, you can't not see it. And if you're ignorant and you're blind to it, it's because you don't want to believe it. There's a huge difference. And the cognitive dissonance is simply this. Because it goes against everything and anything you want to believe or have ever known, because you are unwilling to question your own belief and your dogma, you're going to have a stiff spine. So as I was saying, the spine is a direct correlation to the flexibility of your spine and your mind. The spine and the mind. Hello. So if you have a stiff spine, you probably have a dogmatic mind. And the sensations in your body are always telling on your mind. What are your thoughts? Where could you maybe question yourself and evolve and grow? To be so stuck in a belief and cognitive dissonance, just because you don't want to believe what's happening doesn't make it go away. It's like the little child, they teach you in psychology about children and cognitive dissonance. You put a board in front of yourself and they freak out because they don't see you, so they think you don't exist any longer, because they're still learning relational, physical relation. Like, they're still learning their senses and how to tap into them. They don't understand there's just a barrier between them. And a lot of people are really stuck in the numbing of their own self-perpetuated, self-created barriers, beliefs, that they don't want to see the truth. What's right in front of their faces. And there's a lot of stuff I don't want to believe either, but I have to confront and I have to face it. Just like anything, it isn't going to go away just because you're complicit and compliant. In fact, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile. You should know better. Look at history. Look at what has happened in the past. We are repeating history, and I don't want to be damned to it. I know that. A lot of what you're seeing that's going on in the world, if you are standing for something, but it is out of alignment with integrity, and your physical body is going to tell you, you're going to end up in dis-ease, discomfort, all for the sake of wanting to be right versus be happy and be in awareness. Because if you don't know yourself, then you're going to be easily fooled. As they say, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for almost anything. And that's a truth. And it's what we're living in this life right now that most people are ignorant of, ignoring. There's a huge difference between not seeing it and ignoring it. Because the ignorance is really that they don't want to believe it. And it really does suck. Nobody wants to believe what is going on right now. I am so grateful I live in the Sunshine State right now. I'm telling you right now. Freedom isn't free. If you don't stand up for it, it will go away. And I know that for myself, even when I served in the Air Force, I didn't know what I was doing. A lot of us who served in the military did not know what was really going down and what war was really about. But because I have a loyalty to freedom, a loyalty to my country, I still love my country. And I will be damned if I'm going to let this country go to hell in a handbasket. That's all I'm going to say. Because evil is in front of our faces. And you may not want to believe it, but the liars are telling on themselves. They're telling you, they're not even hiding it. They're telling you exactly what they're going to do. They lie to your face, but you still want to believe it? You know, I've had to sit with a lot of, when I was in the Air Force and a lot of the stuff that I went through, I used to think, gosh, you know, I can't believe I'm having to fight for my own self, to defend myself, because that's how we're raised. We're taught to defend ourselves, not even proven guilty. We're just told. We have fingers pointing at us, told, you did this. We instantly go on the defense, because that's what happens as a trauma response. We never question the offense. We never question what they're claiming, when in reality, we need to be more in tune. And the more in tune you are with yourself, the more you're going to recognize, look at that, choose joy. The more you're in tune with yourself, nobody can catch you off your guard. And I was far from on my guard back in the day because I didn't know myself as well as I do today. And when I would get pointed fingers, I would go into trauma response. I would go into defending myself because I did feel like I was constantly on the attack. That was an old childhood trauma. Now, as an adult, I question everything. You're accusing me of something. Now give me the proof. Show me. Show me what you're talking about. Especially when they use words like all the time, always. You do this every time. No. Don't let them do that to you. And if someone wants to try to give you a guilt trip, step back and take a deep breath. That's about them. There's a lot of virtue signaling going on right now. That doesn't make them virtuous. Just because I appear to be doing something doesn't make me righteous. And that's what's right in front of our faces right now. To say we have to do things for others but not think of ourselves, we've been hearing that all our lives, right, people? It stems from religion. Do for others. Always think of others first. Never think of yourself. That's selfish. This is the healing path. Learning that you need to take care of yourself first. Put your oxygen mask on first before you turn around and start putting things on other people or trying to help others. If you don't have your shit together, you're no good for anybody else. That's a truth. And most people don't want to confront that. No, most people don't want to own it. They don't even know the truth. So if you don't know your truth, they will lie to you and get away with it. Because when you don't know your truth, you'll believe a lie. And that's my rant for the day. So much love to all of you. I just arrived at my dad's and I got a lot of work to help him with. And I'm drinking my coffee because this makes me happy. Do what makes you happy. Know what it is that brings you joy. Don't feel guilty for your shit. Own it so they can't hold it over you. Because your shit, it's going to shine too. Have an amazingly blessed day. I love you all. Mwah!